Today's guest, she's an outreach educator. She's a former ABC journalist. She is the great-granddaughter of one of the greatest Australian Prime Ministers of all time, Prime Minister John Curtin. We talk about politics. We talk about her band, Little Hollly. Talk about 90s music, and we talk about her endless amount of injuries. Please make welcome the one and only Bec Curtin.
Yep.
That's why do you finish your drink? Nice timing. Welcome back.
Thanks, such a long break.
I know. How'd the fire go?
Yeah.
Tell me, you're an outreach educator working with low socio... Let me start that disgrace again. Welcome back.
Thanks. It's been a long time coming, but thanks so much for having me back in the studio. I really missed our time together.
Should do it more often.
Yeah, we should.
Tell me about this outreach education, which you are heavily involved in. I believe, is that where you came from today?
Yeah, it is. So
tell me.
It's a new role I've just started in the last couple of months, actually. So I'm working at Curtin University with a program called Curtin Ahead. So we're essentially giving access and aspiration raising for kids in low socioeconomic areas with this idea of going to university. I guess trying to just show kids that no matter where you come from, no matter what your postcode is, it shouldn't define where you end up, what you study, what you become. So it's been really cool. So I'm a teacher by trade in terms of my background before that. So I was teaching at a school up until midway through the year, and then started this role at Curtin, and it's been really rewarding so far. It's been great.
Great. Is that mostly with people from Perth, or is that from remote communities as well?
So there's another outreach educator like myself, and she works specifically with the regional and remote schools.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, I mean, I'm sure I'll be out there doing a couple of those trips as well. But yeah, right now I'm with all the metro schools.
Okay. Enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I get into there and, get to do really fun things with them. It's all about kind of, I guess we're just showing them different experiences and different things and as far as options and pathways for them, because so many of these kids are first generation or will be first generation university or tertiary for their family. So it's just that exposure. So often they don't get, the ability or the time to have career advancement opportunities and have those conversations about what their life could look like and what's available to them. Yeah. So it's about us coming in and just showing them in really sort of fun ways to try and do that.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So as you're laughing there, I am just going into your social media here.
Great.
It is, I have noticed you go through like everyone's social media. That's doing this boxing, and everyone's like all healthy and all team and doing your training, and as soon as you scan down to a few months ago, look at the drinks. You've got a drink in your hand in every one of these.
Well, I did tell you, the last time we chatted 12 weeks ago that I'm very keen for champagne when this is all over.
I can't
imagine. This has been the longest I've not had a drink in a very long time. So
that first one's going to taste so good.
Oh, won't it?
Who's this good-looking man?
That is my husband, Scott.
Scotty, what does Scotty do?
Scottie The Hottie is a Sparky. He's a Sparky, and he runs a cable electrical repairs. So it's like all for mining, trailing cables out of mine sites. So he's a Kalgoorlie boy. And
those Kalgoorlie boys.
Yeah. Country kids, they do it best.
So you, prior to the role you're in now, you used to be with the ABC.
I did.
A journalist.
Yes.
Radio and TV mainly. Whereabouts in Kalgoorlie were you?
So, in Kalgoorlie?
Yeah. Whereabouts? The suburbs?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in Lamington.
Oh.
I was in Lamington.
Lamington.
How do you know the suburbs of Cal?
I know.
Nobody even believes that Lamington's a place. I think it's still actually on my ID. I've got the sticker on the back, but someone the other day saw it and they were like, is Lamington a real place?
Oh, yeah. We used to be Hinnamoa Street, Lamington.
Hey.
Yes.
Nice.
Lamington. It's like the fancy part of Kalgoorlie, isn't it?
Yeah. Just a high roller in Cal.
So what was that like up there in Cal? Because that's very different to life here.
Yeah, it definitely was. So I moved out there in 2012 and I got this job with the ABC. So I just finished my postgrad at WAPA doing broadcasting and got the job, and I thought, I'm only going to be there for 6 months and then I'm going to be this, come back to Perth and end up being this amazing foreign correspondent or, something of the like, as all 21-year-olds or 22-year-olds think they will be. And I got out there, and there's something about, Kalgoorlie. It just has this magnetism about it, and it's so lovable. Like the people there are just so welcoming. It's a really transient community. There's a lot of young people who are early in their careers, nurses, teachers, journalists.
It does seem to be a place that does attract sort of newly graduated people.
And so I think that's really nice because everyone goes out there looking to meet new people. Everyone's really social. There's so much community sport. Like I was playing for a netball team out there, the Sonics Netball Club, and was really heavily involved in it, and I loved it. So, it was a very, very easy place to live.
Is that you?
That is me, yes.
Seriously, that is you?
Yeah.
That's not you there, though.
That's not me.
But that is you. My God, that's your ABC. You know who you look like? You look just like her. Is that Georgie Parker?
It's funny, not the first. You're not
is
the.
That her? Is that Georgie Parker? Pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it's funny. I've gotten that before, and then I've also gotten Rebecca. Oh, what is her surname? She's a sports journalist. She used to do the footy show for a while there when they crossed over, and I cannot for the life of me remember her surname. But yeah, I think I've just kind of got one of those faces, you know.
I think it's the haircut. That is a stock standard
that's
news reporter haircut, isn't it?
The old bob, you know. Yeah.
How long ago was that photo there? Not that one. That one there.
2012. So I was 22.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Same with the one on that far left that you can see up there.
There.
So, yeah.
You look so much younger now than you do there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think even when I see pictures of myself from when I was 20 and I had like peroxide white hair.
Oh, you had some hairdos. You showed me your license earlier. That was something else, wasn't it?
I think I'm just, I don't care. I don't mind changing it up. So, but yeah, I think it's, some of them are definitely a bit more aging than others.
Oh, I tell you, you do. I don't know whether it's a longer hair or something, but you definitely do look younger. You look like about, I'm not going to say.
About 55 or something.
You do look a fair bit older in those photos, I must admit. But I suppose that's the...
It's fine. Came here to get insulted. It's all good. Thanks.
Tell me what that is. Are you into like cosplay and all that? Are we going to see you? Are we going to see you at Comic-Con?
Well, my friends are the first to admit that I love a dress up. Any chance for a costume or a dress up, but this one actually, I went to one of those escape rooms.
Oh, okay.
I've been to a couple, and once we escaped, it happened to be my birthday, so I was like, I'm going to put on the outfit and celebrate that we got out of the room, you know, in the 60 minutes. So
beautiful. So that's what the winner gets.
Yeah, it was like a King Arthur theme. You know?
Very nice. Very nice. Who's this guy?
Oh, this is my girl. It's my baby girl. That's Cece. So she's about 8 months old, and she is my world. Like I'm disgustingly obsessed with her.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
It's actually, look, I'm the first to admit I probably got a problem.
What is Scottie The Hottie? Where does he fit into?
Oh, he's worse than me.
Oh, really?
Absolutely worse than me. You know, he was like, oh, no, won't sleep in our bed, blah, blah, blah. And then now she's like in between our two pillows. You know, she's look at her. There she is on my pillow.
There.
Yeah. Look at her. What is not to love about that face? She's just a little
just sitting on your pillow.
Yeah, she gets naughty though. She's got a split personality, I've decided. So
she's sitting on your pillow.
Yeah.
You can't tolerate
that. She's clean. She's right.
She's a dog.
Nah, look at her. But most of the time she's this beautiful, well-behaved little girl.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time she kind of just turns into this like devil gremlin that we call Harry McClary. So
I know Harry McClary. They're those books, aren't they? Those kids' books.
Yeah. So she kind of looks like that
ratty
dog.
So
yeah. She's a little bit ratty at times.
And she's sitting on your pillow.
Yep.
There's no way. Oh, look at you there. Jabbing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a match up with Rage.
Yeah, it is. Oh, well, there you can start to see a bit of the height there. But yeah, we both decided to do try. I think she looks a lot more intimidating than I do. I couldn't stop smiling.
I don't know what you're doing with your hands there, but that is not.
That's not my fighting stance.
I hope not. Money's going to go on Rage if that goes on. Going back to your job here, you used to work for Rugby WA.
Oh, you have done some research a long time ago.
Stalking, as people say. Stalking.
Yeah, stalking. Yeah. Yes, it was a very brief stint with Rugby WA.
Yeah.
It was just kind of straight after I think it was while I was actually still at WAPA, maybe. It was. So it was kind of a part-time gig. So every other weekend just for I think it was not even a whole season.
Okay.
I'd get $50 to go down and watch a game and write a little article
Really?
about. Yeah.
That's
but
not bad.
the best bit is
free drinks or something? Knowing you?
Probs. But no, it was my, I like watching rugby union. But having never played it myself, it's really hard to write about a sport you haven't played.
Oh, it is. It must be one of the most confusing sports for someone that's never played the game.
I know the rules because I watched it and I followed it, but my dad used to play it, so I used to force him to come down with me and watch the games, and then I'd just be like, tell me what's happening.
Oh, no.
And then it was really Dad should have been getting the $50, not me.
Dads, that's our job. That's what we do for our kids.
Yeah, right.
Are you the great-granddaughter of the famous former Prime Minister John Curtin?
Correct.
Wow. And how's this for a coincidence that I found? In 1917, the Mr. John... Is it Mr. John Curtin or is it Prime Minister John Curtin?
Prime Minister John Curtin.
Prime Minister John Curtin in 1917 worked for the Westralian Worker in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
Was that any sort of reason that you headed up to Cal, or was it just coincidence?
No, total coincidence.
Up to Lamington?
I think, up to Lamington. No, I think it was amazing to have that connection when I started studying and realising that I was really interested in journalism and writing about people and just telling stories. As you can tell, I love a yarn.
Oh, you do love a yarn. Jeez, we've been going for 55 minutes here. About 10 of those minutes we can use. Yeah.
And so I think, having that connection, knowing that he was such a creative in his own way as well was
some of his work was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, just the most amazing orator. Like, public speaking was, unreal for him. So, I think that was kind of an amazing connection to have as well. And then actually my cousin worked at the ABC in Kalgoorlie as well from the other side, from my mum's side of the family. So, all these stars sort of seem to align and point in that direction. And one of my now best mates who I met when I was living in England.
Whereabouts do you live in England?
In Hatfield, just north or Hertfordshire. So kind of where Pride and Prejudice was filmed was in St Albans, that beautiful area there. And Hatfield was this side suburb that was essentially just like a university town. And I did a semester there. But I met, my good friend Jordan there, and he and I were sort of now best mates, but he happened to be from Kalgoorlie, also ended up working back in Kalgoorlie. So... Really? Yeah, all roads lead to there. I met Scottie in Kalgoorlie, So
you're on the other side of the world and you meet someone from Kalgoorlie and just happen to end up back in Kalgoorlie. Yeah. That is very strange. Do you feel a bit of pressure to live up to the Curtin name?
Look, yes and no. I think it's more pride than anything else. Like, I think I'm just so proud to be related to someone who achieved, so many amazing things. Yeah. Prime Minister during World War II, literally got Australia out of some of their darkest days. Yeah.
Some say he was one of the best of all time.
Yeah, look, I'm one of those, but I might be a little biased, I think. I also think, his early life, when he was a youngster, he was 19, he was protesting against conscription.
That ended him in jail, didn't it?
Yeah.
1916.
Yeah, so you did do your research.
Stalking.
Yes, spent a night in jail.
And then one night?
Yeah.
Oh, it sounded like so much more when I read it up. We won't tell anyone.
Yeah. But then what I love is that then all these years later, don't love, but I think what I respect so much is then when he's in office and he's having to go against everything he believes in to make sure that Australia stays safe. Winston Churchill said, let Australia fall. He wanted to draw a line and let Australia be invaded in the top half that he actually sent through, that cut in the line. Yeah. And John Curtin said no. And he... Yeah, I think he's just such a strong-willed person, and, everybody has their flaws, and perhaps his was that he ended up working too hard in the end and died in office 4 weeks before the end of World War II, so didn't even get to see the end of what he'd put so much blood, sweat and tears into. So, yeah, I think it's a lot. I'm very proud to have that connection, but, yeah, I don't think it's as much pressure. It's more... It may be personal pressure more than everything else. I've never felt that from my family or anything.
I did, to be honest, probably up until this week. I knew a bit, but from what I was reading about John prior, he seemed to be the pride that he had for Australia, and how he actually was looking out for what was best for Australia. It seems like something has gone missing in a generation. Like I'm not questioning the people we have in power now at all, but that pride seems to have gone, and some of the decisions he made was was great for this country.
It's really interesting, I think, because we're in such a different age in so many. We're in such a different age in so many ways. In that, access to technology and everything means that people are so much more exposed to everything that's going on. That sort of globalization means that, with the touch of the finger, we're able to, decide that we don't want to be vaccinated, or whatever it is that, people decide that they're experts in a field, not to get into that. But I think that even comes across in politics as well, is that so much used to be it used to be a position of pride, that people held like a lot of esteem for politicians and really respected them. And I think a lot of that sort of changed, and I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, because there doesn't seem to be that level. That's perfectly said there, the level of respect for politicians. It used to be, these guys are basically the boss, and you might not agree with them, but you have to respect them. But nowadays, these politicians are just getting lit up on the internet by people on the other side of the world.
I mean, any mug can hide behind a keyboard now and say what they want. You know what I mean? Like,
have you been reading mine? It's mine.
The biggest mug of all. But I think it's very rare that you see politicians nowadays that can really unite people. In such a divisive time in our world. You've got the leaders who are few and far between, like Jacinda Ardern, who, in New Zealand has, brought this nation together, and, she's very well loved around the world. But she's one of not many. No,
very few, isn't she?
And, you look at what Bec Curtin did at that time, and he united a country to and not to glorify war or anything, because, it's not something to be taken lightly, but, he did what he needed to in that moment, and the country got behind him. And I think when you watch that, there's videos of his funeral procession and the thousands and thousands of people who lined the streets at that time as that car drove through. It's, it's long before I was born, but even now I kind of, watch it and it still brings tears to my eyes. So, yeah.
There's a lot of family pride there.
Yeah, for sure.
You ever thought about going into politics?
Not the first person to ask, actually. I got asked that question when I was 19. No, I got first asked that question when I was 4. I met Kim Beazley long time ago. And he said, "Oh, are you going to go into politics and be Prime Minister as well?" And I said to him that, no, I'd become the first female president, that we'd secede from the monarchy.
How'd that go down?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
Oh, let's not even. Nah.
Okay.
I think it'd be very difficult to get into politics nowadays. As much as everybody loves to, talk shit about them, I think it's a hard job, because you cannot please everyone. No matter what you do, there's always going to be some flog who tells you that you're not doing enough. And you have to be so politically correct now. You have to tiptoe with everything you say, because one misstep and you're cancelled online. You know what I mean? So
dangerous.
I think it's just this precarious kind of, and there's so much to be passionate about. So much, our environment is so screwed. There's social issues that need to be so addressed within our society, and you need people who are passionate enough and strong enough to march onward, even though, they might get trolled online, and I respect those people who are doing that. I don't know that who knows? Never say never, but I think it would be a really tough gig.
I couldn't do it. I'll be honest, I don't understand enough about it to even have a very strong opinion. I've always just avoided politics, but the job that some of those men and women do, I couldn't do it. Because you just cannot keep everyone happy, no matter what decision you make. It's like having just kids, you've got one chocolate. You can't divide it. You've got to give it to one person. One person's always going to be unhappy, and that's just like society.
And honestly, the politicians of our time who hold the most respect are those who, now you think about, old Daddy Mark, And
Mark McGowan, how popular is that man?
but then but he's become
Feel free
more
to come
so,
in here anytime and chat with me, Mark, as well.
Of course,
okay?
I think he'd love it. But he's become so much more popular since. There's a plethora of reasons, but you even think about the fact that he's relaxed so much more, and him talking about going for a run and getting a kebab, and all of these things that kind of become iconic.
Very relatable, isn't he?
Yeah, and Bob Hawke is similar. Him sculling a beer. That is so relatable for people that they're connecting with it, and it goes beyond politics, which I find really interesting. Yeah.
Jeez. So it's not a path you're going to go down?
Yeah, no. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could handle the. I don't think I could, bite my tongue when you had people who were just idiots saying things.
It'd be hard because I suppose before the internet, you could almost not be protected, but you could sit in an office and all you really knew was what people were telling you, the people
So true.
around you.
Yeah.
But now you get on some of the stuff that's said on social media and YouTube. People just don't care.
And also, everyone thinks they're entitled to an opinion now
Oh.
on everything.
Everyone loves an opinion, don't they?
But it's also like, no, sometimes, everyone's like, oh, everyone, deserves their own say. And it's like, no, sometimes people are just wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Just wrong. And, I shouldn't have to indulge you because you want to go and spend 5 hours, trawling on something and, determining that you're right when there are experts who can, tell you otherwise. It's just everybody... thinks they know better now, whereas they used to trust people. There's a lack of trust for sure.
There's just too much information out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's why I read as little as possible. I listen to audiobooks.
God, we sound so serious.
I know. Jeez, what's going on? Let's talk about something that you are right into.
Yeah.
And that's little Hollly music.
That is
I have been scanning this. Tell me,
Look.
what is going? You look like who's that? Who's that guy?
So it's Trevor, one of my best mates.
Trev, he's a decent guitarist, isn't he?
Oh, he's incredible. One of the best musicians I know.
You are a fair bit taller than that, man.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Well, he's got Singaporean and Portuguese background, but he's Australian. So, he's we met a long time ago. There's some of my lovely
Look at that
hair.
haircut. Jeez.
Yeah.
You know who you look like there?
Oh, tell me.
She used to be the singer of... Now, let me finish because it's going to sound judgy. She used to be... they had the band was called Kay's Choice. Kay's Choice. And they had that song, Not an Addict, which is an awesome fucking song, by the way. I didn't even ask you about your walkout music.
Oh, it's all right.
We can cut out, but what's your walkout song?
It's so my walkout song is Lady Marmalade.
Oh, which one? The old one?
No, I went with the more modern one,
The Christina Aguilera one.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I just love that opening note. Where's all my soul sisters? Let me hear your
flow, sisters. Hey,
Yeah.
sister, go. Whatever happened to Maya? Maybe she was the other one.
I used to love some of her music,
She had that one song.
and she was particularly attractive as well. So
Something happened. That's her.
Oh, there she is.
She was a good-looking woman.
yeah,
You had it on the side, a little one-night thing, and I don't know the words.
see, that's not a lot. When I think of Maya, I think that single, sexy and sweet, making my own money, looking for the right party.
You can sing way better than me.
Or the Case of the Ex, the dum da 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 dum dum dum. Da, 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 da.
The Tampere featuring Maya. You remember this?
Yeah.
Listen to this intro. It's fucking great.
See, now you're going to make me want to change my song.
Listen, come on. It just comes in. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. Where is it? Hang on. We should do a karaoke. I got a piano
Sounds
behind
like
there.
S Club 7. She's so young there. Yeah,
That's
I know
it.
that song, yeah. Trev is a bit like that. So when I'd be like, we were filming a couple of videos in the early days and we were just like resetting up this Instagram stuff, and he's very particular. So we'd film it and we'd do the vocals separate to the camera, and then when I'd put it together, he'd be like, nah. Like, so I'd have to keep just until I got it perfect, because he's a perfectionist.
Oh, are you talking about with syncing the audio up?
Yeah.
That is an art form. That's why I've got that clapper. I used to try to do it by eye, but I cannot do it.
Yeah, I was doing it by eye and it's not ideal.
What do you use to edit it?
I was using Premiere Pro.
Oh,
Yeah.
going all out.
Yeah.
I use good old iMovie.
Oh, nice.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it is
I
really
used
simple.
to do Premiere Pro, but I got some dodgy version as well.
Yeah.
As you do. All right, let's get back to this haircut.
Yeah,
What was going on with that haircut?
Hey, look, if you can see in the mirror behind, it's actually tied up a little bit. So, like, I think it's a bit more normal than maybe you
Bit
were
of a
seeing in the
mullet
image
going
there.
on there.
But I think that is 2010, maybe. I think.
Yeah, that haircut still wasn't good in 2010.
But yeah, we've been playing together for a long time, and
Your little Hollly.
little Hollly.
Tell
yeah.
me about this. You're at the Claysbrook Bar.
Yeah, so we've actually got a gig this weekend.
Coming down.
Yeah, I should
Stage dive.
I should have posted something before so you started looking at it so you could
Should.
give it a bit of a plug. I'm playing at the Galway Hooker on grand final day, so
Oh.
from 2 till 5 p.m, just before the footy grand final starts, we'll be playing.
Galway Hooker in Scarborough.
Scarborough, it's kind of just next to the Lookout. It's a great Irish pub, really beautiful.
What did that used to be called? Stanford Arms or something?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Is that it? Right in the corner there.
No, it's kind of deep sunk in. It's kind of, you know where the Lookout is? There's those like little steps up.
Vaguely.
It's just right next to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we started playing. There was 4 of us originally a long time ago. So back when I first finished high school,
Yeah.
however many years ago that was.
Couple of years back.
Yeah.
You're born 1990?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I was in high school in 1990. Yeah.
Well,
How'd you feel old?
Yeah. And I actually had a dream that I was singing with
Punching someone?
Yeah.
No.
Separate dream,
Jeez.
separate fantasy. So that one's a fantasy. This one's a dream. So
Jeez.
yeah, I had a dream that I was.
Scotty's not in any of these.
He doesn't know. He knows not to mess with me now. Yeah. I had a dream that I was playing music with my other friend Justin, and I told him about it, and he was like, "Why don't we?" So this was when we were like 18. We were both at uni, needed some money, so we started a little duo, and eventually that became. It was 4 of us, so we had keys, guitar, percussion, and vocals.
Yep.
And
No
we had
bass?
No.
Oh, I've got to throw the bass in there. It's got to be
Yeah.
a slap bass in there to give that feel.
Just loving a band, yeah. We so the 4 of us were playing. We had a pretty regular gig at the old Llama Bar in Subiaco.
Oh, the llama.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's going back.
Yeah,
Is that still there? It's not,
No, it's not there
surely
anymore.
not still there.
I don't know what it is now, but and then sort of everyone kind of did their own thing. A couple of the boys are really successful in their music endeavours now. So one of them's Justin's doing some full-time producing and stuff in Sydney, which is great, and Morgan's part of Slumberjack, which is really sort of successful.
Nice.
And then Trev and I and Trev's got some incredible original stuff that he does as well that he's been releasing.
He's pretty good on the 4-track. I saw it in this one. Hang out.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
Getting those loops going. Is there any copyright on any of this stuff as well?
No.
I don't need YouTube
No.
up my ass. Okay, good. Oh, look at him going. Oh. Do you want me to freestyle over the
Yeah.
top of this?
Yeah, yes, please. You're a bit of rapper by nature, are you?
No, not with his voice today.
Yeah, he
Sound like Barry White.
yeah, and that's just him mucking around as well. So we kind of
He's very
started
good.
this up halfway through last year. We were like, why don't we
Oh,
start
COVID.
playing some music again?
COVID. Perfect time to be doing this.
Well, we started having a jam. It was just more for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let's see. And we kind of haven't been going with any official agency. We've just been kind of, sourcing gigs, approaching pubs and word of mouth and getting gigs that way, which is good. We both have full-time jobs, so this is just a bit of a passion project
What's he
on the
do?
side. DCP, so he works for the Department of Child Protection.
Okay.
So I think both of us have jobs where at times can be quite emotionally draining.
Just need an outlet.
Yeah, and that's it. If you're not drinking whiskey, you need to be singing. So it's such a perfect outlet.
Where'd you learn to sing? Because you don't sound too bad. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Who recorded this?
I'm not actually sure. It might have just been one of my mates who's down there with an iPhone, I reckon.
That's
Why are you going to judge them?
That's some questionable. No, because you sound good, but that's some questionable audio.
Yeah, look, it's in the middle of a pub. I think. Yeah, that's why we.
Where'd you learn those dance moves? Jeez, dude.
Look, look, we don't need to watch it again. Where did I learn to sing? I started when I was a kid, I think. Yeah, like primary school. Mum got me in for some lessons, and then
really?
Yeah, did quite a lot of musical theatre originally.
Yeah.
Loved it.
What school did you go to?
Our Lady of Grace and Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, and then was singing a lot there, and after school kind of just kept going. So
What I do like is the hand movements here.
My sister calls that my claw hand.
Look at it. Are you one of those people where, like, if we tied your hands together, you wouldn't be able to talk?
No.
You got some Italian in you?
Maybe that I'm unaware of. Yeah, actually, I am quite a... look, even in those two pictures there, you can see my hands are going.
Everywhere.
My sister calls it the claw, so she says it comes out a lot.
Comes out. Even the claws there. Is that you?
That is me, yeah. Yeah.
Listen.
Another questionable hairstyle.
Don't mind having a dart there.
Yeah.
A little lung dart there.
Yeah. Not while I've been training.
Sure. Now, you obviously made some very good decisions in your day. That haircut was not one of them.
Hey, you know what? I still back that one in, all right? Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, look, yeah. Do you know what? I will. Maybe it's aged me a little bit, but...
Cannot wait. If you lose this boxing match, you got to go back to that. How's that?
Yeah, Rach and I should have had a bet on haircuts or something for post-fight.
If you saw my hair, you know I'm in absolutely no position to comment on anyone else's hair.
Yeah, you've got some beanie happening.
Yeah. So I can sort of lay low a bit. People don't actually recognise me. Nice. So when's your gig coming up? When's that? This weekend?
This weekend, yeah, on Saturday, 2 till 5 p.m. If anyone is, I don't know if this is going to be out in time, to be fair. People.
To be honest, it's me, so probably not. No, I will try to get out by Saturday, but if not, then you're fighting the following Saturday.
Correct.
And the week after that, what do we got? Anything? So I think that'll be like the 9th.
Yeah, something like that.
Where's that?
Oh, no. Oh, gig-wise.
Yeah.
No, because we've got a private gig after that. So the
invite
most,
only.
Yeah.
Jeez,
so the most up-and-coming public gig we got is the one at Galway Hooker.
Galway Hooker.
I need to get better on the socials. But, yeah, there's a few things out there. We've got some stuff on LinkedIn. You can, have a little listen if you want to. Check us out.
I don't touch LinkedIn. That's just not for me.
Wait, no, not LinkedIn. What's it called?
It says LinkedIn right there.
But click on it. It's not LinkedIn. It's
It looks like a LinkedIn. It's taking you back to... If this is LinkedIn... Oh, okay, I gotcha.
There you go, SoundCloud. It's like a little website.
Oh, Linktrust, sorry. That is my mistake.
It's SoundCloud, that's the word I'm looking for.
SoundCloud.
So we've got a few things on YouTube and a couple of ones on SoundCloud. It's just so anybody wanted to check us out, they can, say what we're about if they want to give us a gig.
Go to Little Hollly Music on Instagram, and you can see some of the finest haircuts going around from Bec from the 80s.
From the 80s. Born in the wrong era. Well, were you born in the 50s or
70s? Jeez, I'm feeling it today as well with his knees. Okay, what else have we got here? That's what I was going to say. Traveling 2019. You luckily enough travelled a fair bit prior to the COVID kicking in. 2019. Where'd you go? And tell me about this broken leg/rib while you were abroad. Oh, that would have been excellent. What country were you in when you broke your leg?
Peru.
Jesus.
So
okay.
I'd been.
What's a hospital system like in Peru?
Oh, look, exactly as you'd expect.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
How'd you break your leg?
So we'd been on this high altitude trek just out of Juarez. It's called the Waywash Trek. It was 10 days, and I thought if I was going to get injured, it's going to be that. We'd just spent 6 months on a beaches in Mexico, drinking Coronas and eating tacos.
Who's we?
Scott and I.
Okay.
So we got married at the beginning of 2019, and then we travelled for all of 2019 as our honeymoon.
Oh, jeez. That sounds great.
And so we didn't really do any preparation leading into that trek. And then kind of,
You're trekking through Peru with no preparation.
No preparation.
Quality.
It was high altitude.
Good decision making there.
Once we started, we didn't go below like 3,800.
Oh.
It was high. And I've never
sickness?
been... Oh, yeah. When we first got to Juarez, I got altitude sickness. I got over it after a while, but it's that... Like one night we slept at 4:2, I think, and that was just... No, it was 4:4, and it was crazy because I could not get my breath back. So like the whole night we're sleeping, we had like 30% less oxygen in our lungs. So you go to sleep and you'd be like... as you'd go to do that deep breath, it just wouldn't, your body couldn't
Really?
regulate. Well, at least mine couldn't. I don't
That'd
know.
be terrifying.
I was not in the same kind of shape that I'm in now. So,
Is it scary?
yeah, like, look, it was an amazing trek. I think
I'm
as
talking
I
about
was...
being short of breath.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't a nice feeling. And the next day was even worse because we're all then sleep deprived and doing this trek, and you're kind of like grouchy as, and then you get to the top of this,
Can't imagine
mountain
you being grouchy,
pass. Yeah, it's all a facade. But yeah, anyway, we did the trek, and then we went down to a small town out of it's kind of south of Lima, and in the middle of nowhere, it's all these sand dunes that surround the small little town. And it was wicked. Like, we read about it. Everyone goes like, sandboarding there. And I was like, this sounds great.
Sandboarding?
Yeah. So we went there, and instead of sandboarding, we decided that sand skiing would be a really great option because we'd skied at the beginning of the trip and we're like, oh, this is great. Just touch back on that, 8 months later. Skiing on sand and skiing on snow, would not recommend. Very different.
Really?
Because it was, I should have realised it was dangerous when they're giving me a candle to wax the bottom of the skis with. So we're rubbing a candle on the bottom because I like to get extra speed and traction. And I was like, probably should have been a warning sign.
Yeah.
And then we went out in a dune buggy, got out there, dropped us at the top of the thing, and he was like, all right, away you go. And I was like, okay. Went down, literally second or third turn. As I've gone to turn, the sand just rushes on to the skis, and it just doesn't clear off in the way like snow would. And I'm also not the best skier anyway, first to admit that. And as I've turned, I've done the next turn and my ski's gotten caught, and it's just gone, like, my foot's gone.
God, Jesus.
And it snapped. And I knew straight away, I was like, that's broken. I've broken enough bones in my time now to realise when it's broken.
What's it called, the tibia or the fibia or something?
It was, so I broke either side. So, like, it was clean through, yeah. And then anyway, so I'm there halfway down this sand dune in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, how the fuck am I going to get out of here?
How much pain?
Oh, incredible. And no, it was even more painful when because ski boots are so tight.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
you had
like,
to get them off.
Get it off. And so the beautiful guide comes running down, and he just rips off the boot, and I saw stars. Like, I almost fainted at that point. But I was like, all right, so we need to get back up the top, and I couldn't put any weight on it. Because of its sand dunes, we're going backwards. And I was like, oh, what are we going to do? So then I felt like Shamu being pushed out of the ocean. I'm on all fours. Scott's run down as well. He's got his hands on my butt. The guide's got his hands on my good foot. And we're just kind of like, I'm crawling up to the top of this sand dune with my leg like all floppy. We got to the top. And then they shipped me into the...
Oh, Jesus. So they didn't put you on a stretch or anything. You had to actually crawl up.
We're in the middle of nowhere in this sand dune.
Did they come down in the buggy or something to pick you up?
Nah. And so, look, it's Peru. It is what it is. And
I won't complain about the level of care right now. It happened 2 years ago.
Yeah. And look, I'm fighting, so it's fine. But, we got back into the buggy, and then we had to go across all these sand dunes. So my foot is like, I'm holding onto it, but it's like this.
Oh, Jesus.
Bouncing. And I was like, oh. Got back there, took us into town, and the guide came with us because, my broken Spanish, his broken English together. We kind of half made a conversation, I think. And they took us to the first hospital, or the only hospital in town, but it looked like a hospice. It was like this place where people go to die.
Oh, okay.
They put me in this old wheelchair, and I was like, I just felt like I'm never coming out of here again. They started taking my blood pressure, and I was like, it's got to do with my ankle.
Yeah.
Wheeled me around for about half an hour before they realised they didn't have an X-ray machine at this hospital. And then they shipped me back into another taxi, go to the next place, and it's like a little clinic. They woke up the one woman who knew how to use the X-ray machine, which was from the 70s, right around the time you were born, and then they
so good
X-rayed my foot, and the doctor comes back in, and he's like, "Dos," and I was like, "Cool, got that much, 2 breaks, easy." Yeah. And at that point, I was like, I hadn't cried or anything, and I started tearing up because I was like, my mum and dad were due to come and join us. I'd convinced them to come on this trip of a lifetime. I was like, come join us in the end. We'll meet you in Mexico. They wouldn't have normally done that without us. And I was like, oh shit, I've screwed this up here.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, you're in pain, which I was. Hadn't taken anything at that point. He just gets out this needle, and it's like something out of a horror film, and he's like, kts, kts, and I was like,
yeah.
And my original thought was, I'm like, he's going to shove that into my ankle bone or something, and I'm like, oh, donde. And then he starts making sort of these motions, jabs it into my sort of upper butt, and I have no idea what was in that thing.
Oh, if it's from Peru, I can imagine it's
Do you know what?
not exactly over the counter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I had a great day. Well, great 2 days.
Oh,
And as we as we left, they handed Scott another needle and a vial, and he was like, "What am I going to do
really?
with this?"
Were you in a cast?
No, so they didn't have anywhere to cast me, so they just wrapped me in a bandage with a broken ankle, and we had no crutches. So Scott's like carrying me everywhere,
geez.
like no wheelchair or anything, and then we had to catch a 5-hour bus from this town back to Lima,
Jesus.
and it was fine because this medication. Well, I'll call it medication, but yeah, this stuff was great. And by the time I got back there, we went, into Lima and through insurance and everything, got a
You were
cast
insured?
on. Yes.
You did have travel insurance?
Did have travel insurance.
That answer looked very questionable.
Would not
What-
recommend accidentally letting it lapse and then having to convince them that it hadn't lapsed. But yes, travel insurance.
Sounds like insurance fraud here.
It's
Okay.
not. It's not. Hey, it's 2 years ago. What are they going to do? But yeah, so then we got the cast on, bought a pair of crutches, and flew. Then went from there. A couple of days later, flew back to Mexico and rested up for a week. And Mum and Dad arrived, and away we go. And now when I look back on, saying more of Mexico with them, I don't remember that I was in a cast. So
Really?
yeah.
And did you do your rib at the same time?
No, that was separate.
Oh,
so
geez.
this was right at the end of the trip.
Geez, I wonder why it's hard for you to get health insurance. What did you do? Haven't even got onto your netball injuries.
Yeah, it's I was we were at this is while we're in Mexico, we're at a lot of different cenotes, which are like the big watering holes in the ground. You kind of jump in them. They're incredible crystal clear waters. And one of them that we arrived at had this big jumping platform. It was like 12 metres high. And I'm not great with heights generally, but I was like, oh, do you know what?
This is before you broke your leg, by the way.
This is before, yeah. This is prior to breaking the leg. And, yeah, I'm a little accident prone. And
Really?
and
Got a black eye, I can see, as you're speaking.
that's Glenn's fault. And, yeah, so then I just kind of ran off this thing, and I was like, I'm just going to run.
Yeah.
And then as I've run, my back foot kind of slipped. So I've gone off the edge on an angle, and I'm kind of going vertically down, and I belly flopped as I hit from
And
12
broke a
metres
rib.
up. Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, why half-ass something, right? If you're going to do it, let's do it properly.
Which rib? Do you know?
Yeah, it was on this side here.
Floating? Oh.
Yeah.
Geez, they heal a treat, don't they?
Yeah. Well, it's all good now, Rach, so it's fine, It was years ago, so no injuries to the ribs. It was good. It didn't make great for going over speed bumps in the car for a while there, but yeah. No,
And then you break your leg just a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, well, that was months later, so it was fine. I had time to heal at least, one injury at a time.
Speaking of injuries, someone apparently used to play netball at quite an impressive level.
Yeah, I used to play with the Prems out in Kalgoorlie, which was great. And
what's it like?
Perth.
What's sport like in Kalgoorlie? Because I've seen like Aussie rules out in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
And it is not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, it's very physical for sure.
Extremely physical. I believe it was in North Kalgoorlie Kangas, is that right?
Yeah.
Jesus, it was a brawl for about 2/3 of the match.
Yeah.
And I went, I can't do this. What's netball like? Is it quite a physical?
Definitely. It's
like
a lot
prison
more.
rules up there?
It's more physical than the netball I was playing in Perth before I moved out there, for sure. It's a very different style of game. So often a lot of the teams might not be as fit, but they really use their physicality a lot. So chicks know how to use their bodies really, really well to just kind of manoeuvre around, which is really interesting. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of competitive rivalries as well. So like club affiliations. So if you're playing cricket at one club, you have to play, footy at another kind of thing. So yeah, there's some interesting shenanigans that go on. But people in the Goldfields are definitely very passionate about their sport.
They love their sport, don't they?
Their sport.
Is it still quite a few people with from New Zealand are still up there in Kalgoorlie?
Yeah. So like
I've seen some of those Kiwi girls play netball.
Yeah, we used to play against a team called Mana in particular, and there was a huge rivalry between Sonics and Mana at one point there. And
they are strong, strong ladies.
Yeah. Great physicality, amazing.
Yeah. Jeez. So what'd you do? Did a knee. Who would be silly enough to do a knee?
Yeah, who would be, hey?
I don't know. I just wear this thing for the look.
Yeah, says you in the brace. I did my ACL meniscus, and that was actually during a social game. So I was playing against it was a mixed game.
Did you have insurance? Or did it lapse and then you just said, I convinced them I hadn't lapsed?
I didn't have insurance for this one, which was really bad.
Jeez.
I didn't realise I didn't have hospital insurance. I just had, I was in my early 20s. I thought it was like some budget. I bought some budget, the cheapest one, thinking there was like hospital cover, and obviously didn't look into it enough. And I was playing this mixed game against a bloke who I'd still punch in the face if I was given the opportunity.
Jeez, they just got aggressive here.
Yeah.
Just having a nice chat here. You're talking about shooting people before. Insurance fraud. Now you're punching people in the face. Geez, nice to see you let that go.
Yeah,
how many years ago was that?
Oh, I'm not bitter.
Jeez.
Hey, yeah, and you told me I should be a politician. No, this is why I shouldn't.
You're just being petty. I'm going to call you Tom. Tom Petty.
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
So this bloke, right?
Tell me what this cheat did to you. Tell me what he did. What's his name? Let's name him.
No, we're not naming him. No name and shame.
I don't need that.
He was this bloke. He was about 6'3", and couldn't cop that. Like, I was just shooting circles around him.
Dominating?
Yeah, I was dominating, and he was
not
like
the best.
He just didn't, because normally he's used to just being able to. He was a defender, and he just like thought that he'd use his height and would just get around it.
He wasn't intimidated by the haircut or anything.
Yeah,
was
it must have been. I reckon it was that pink haircut I was running. Just running at him with the 80s savage. Anyway, we both went up for a ball, and he's given me a big hip and shoulder up in the air, and as I've landed down, it's just it's just popped, and I was like, oh. And Was
it deliberate?
Oh, I don't think he deliberately tried to rupture my ACL, but he deliberately gave me a bump.
That's not on.
And the best bit wasn't the best bit at the time. My mum happened to be up in Kalgoorlie at the time. She was just visiting.
Are we talking about Josephine?
We are talking about
Are we talking about Josephine, the enforcer Curtin?
Yeah,
Is that the one?
Yeah, the matriarch of the family. She is someone you do not mess with. She's a fiery redhead, and she was. Geez. Do you know what though? I'm injured. I'm laying there in a lot of pain. Does she choose to come and?
There she is.
There she is.
She looks fiery. Look at you there.
Oh God, that's a bit dated, isn't it?
What are you, 12?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that.
Oh.
Jeez, he's just been in a sauna or something.
Yeah.
Sweaty you.
Yeah, why am I so shiny?
So I'm going to have to wipe the grease off the screen.
Hey. Well, yeah, anyway, Josephine, I'm laying there.
Look at Josephine.
Injured.
She is so proud of you there, by the way.
Butter wouldn't melt.
Hello, Josephine.
Yeah. Hi, Mum. Yeah, she, instead of helping her injured daughter, she goes racing.
Sorry, I completely forgot what we're talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
She goes racing over. How dare you? She starts yelling at him, and he's like backing off. It was so funny. I've never seen like a guy just like kind of like go so quickly. It was great. But at the time, I was like, Mum, don't embarrass me, But now I'm like, yeah, get it, girl.
She's looking after her daughter.
She is, yeah,
Jeez. And you did an ACL. That's a long stint. Meniscus.
Yeah.
Is meniscus cartilage? Is it the same thing?
I don't know. I just know that they took 2 parts of the thigh hammy bit there to reconnect.
I believe the thigh hammy bit is the technical term. So for people that don't know,
clearly know my medicine. And yeah, he actually said to me, the surgeon, who called himself Golden Gloves, which I still find hilarious.
He did.
Yeah, referred to himself in the third person as well.
Oh, really?
Is that you? I'm really confused. And he was like, yeah, Golden Gloves. I was like, you can't self-nickname, mate. Like, I can call you Golden Gloves after you do a great job. And to be fair,
definitely
did a stellar job. It's great. But, yeah.
Golden Gloves.
Certainly,
you can't refer to yourself in third person or give yourself a nickname.
Right?
You can't do it.
No, you can't.
You can't do it.
But, yeah, he told me, he was like, you had a really thin muscle tendon, whatever it was that they took there. So we had to use both. And I was like, thank you. And he was like, not a compliment. I was like, oh, okay.
So it's good now?
Yeah, it's all good.
What was the recovery like?
Yeah, it's, they put you in the brace and...
I'm asking for a friend. It's got nothing to do with my knee being shattered the other day and I can't walk. How did you do yours?
So have you done your ACL? Do you know?
I have my MRI on. They did X-rays at the hospital and then a big fight broke out at Royal Perth at about 11 o'clock. So I said, I'm done. I've got to go home. So I went home and I said, I'll go to my GP. And then they did ultrasound, and they reckon that they said meniscus, which I thought was cartilage. It is torn and it's flapped under and it's sitting under my knees while my knee's sitting high.
Yeah, okay.
And that's causing all the pain. And they said, because your knee, it's too painful to even move, we think it may be your ACL as well. But I find out on Saturday, I got a scan and they're going to look at it. So I'm hoping it's just the cartilage, but it is tender.
Yeah.
It is tender. And I agreed yesterday, to go on to chaperone a bunch of year twos to the Maritime Museum yesterday. And if I've said to my kids, I said, if I've agreed to go, I'll go. Like I said, yeah, I'm going to have to be on death's door not to go. Just some more water. No. And I said, I'm going. So I went and I walked around with this brace yesterday, and it was so fucking painful. But
so you probably aggravated it more.
Oh, what worst thing I could have done for it. But I said, I gave him my word, and the one thing I do with my kids is I give them my word, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you have kids?
No.
Don't rush that shit.
Yeah. I'm 31 though, so it's
plenty of time.
Yeah.
They're great, but
let's not talk about that though.
Okay. All right, where were we? What were we talking about? I said I think I was giving you shit about your knee.
Yeah. Oh, so look at if you were talking about weird injuries, look at my hand.
Oh, what'd you do there?
I mean, maybe this is why it's like the claw hands.
You got, oh, Jesus Christ, you got piano hands. Look at the
I got which
size of those hands.
Oh, yeah, I've got huge mitts.
I play piano, and look at these. That's what I'm dealing with. A small hand.
I've hit all keys in one go.
Our claw hands. What'd you do to your finger?
Oh, that's from when I was young and silly, and I was about 18, walking along the coast, West Coast Highway, with a mate, and she did a leapfrog over a pole, and I said I could leapfrog higher.
Oh, jeez.
I went, snap.
Oh.
Broke them all.
All of them?
They've never been the same since. So, yeah.
Any problem with the boxing?
Nah, it just gives me an edge, you know? Little hook edge. Coming at it with a claw.
Jeez. So you're in good health overall?
Oh, of course, fighting fit.
Fighting fit. Only 9 days away from your first ever professional boxing match.
First and most likely last.
Is it professional?
No, it's amateur.
How do you go from being an amateur to a professional? Because you still got to go through the boxing commission. You still got to get tested.
So the difference isn't that amateurs don't get paid. So if you get paid to box or you get paid to play a sport, then you're a professional.
Is that all it is?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. See, that's what I was just thinking.
Because actually, no, do you know what? That's probably not. Because let's think about footy, right? Well, waffle players aren't professional, but they're like semi-professional, or are they still amateur? I don't know, but some of them get paid.
I don't know.
So I don't really know.
Because the thing is, if what we could do
it's like
is,
Dumb and Dumber trying to figure this out.
It is. It's not great, especially what I'm about to say. Is because if you and I had a boxing match and the winner got paid $100,
Me, yeah,
whatever. Especially with this league, and then you could retire straight after, and you'd be an undefeated professional boxer. You'd be the Floyd Money Mayweather of female boxing.
but I don't think it's just like, you and Joe Bloggs having a Barney in the backyard, for $2 is, a professional. Nah, surely.
Really?
No.
I've got to find out. About that. I'm interested. Okay. 1 hour 45. Jeez, what happened to that 30-minute talk we had planned?
Yeah, I know, right?
Rebecca Curtin. Rebecca, that's not Rampage. Jesus, what's your nickname?
The Rebecca.
Sorry?
Rebecca the Wrecker.
That's it. Rebecca the Home Wrecker. I can't believe I just thought of that. Okay. That's about it.
Yeah.
Rebecca the Wrecker. Jeez, I can't believe I forgot that. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much.
It has been a pleasure.
Yeah,
that's great.
Thanks.
What is it with you guys? None of you guys are on time. You're 5 minutes late today.
5 minutes late because you didn't tell me if you were A or B. So
I'm neither.
Yeah.
I'm 54. I was right there. I was watching you in the car. I was like, just turn around and look at me. I'm outside the house.
I was too busy texting you going, where do you live?
Thanks for coming in, Bec. I want to wish you all the best for your upcoming boxing match. And it was great having a chat afterwards. If you ever want to come back in, we could talk more about your venture into politics. I would love to sit down more and talk about it.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
Thanks for your time, Bec, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.